welcome back to my channel. This is the Metatron speaking. I think we're all familiar with the looks of a Spartan, with his fierce spear, his hefty shield, his Coruscant helmet, his red cloak, his underwear, abs, pecs. Let's get this right, shall we? This image of the naked Spartan has been popularized by the film 300, and since its release in 2007 has been copy-pasted all over the place, from video games to role-playing games, from cosplay to miniatures, you name it. But did the Spartans, the zenith of warriors among all the Greeks, really choose to go to battle without any protection apart from their helmets and shields? Now really think about it. It would be rather anomalistic, to say the least, to even fathom a Spartan going to war without his body armor, something that he had earned, a very valuable asset for the real historical Spartan. It is indeed with Plutarch that we may find an answer to our question, as we read: men wore only one garment on a regular basis, and this garment left them bare above the waist. The only reference to complete nudity was during their exercises and games. During the latter, young women would strip themselves and join them. Plutarch mentions that at the age of 12, their undergarment would be taken from them, and only an upper garment or a red cloak would be given. They would then wear this as Spartan soldiers, along with whatever armor was issued to them. The cloak would be then removed during battle. There seems to be even a report of a citizen who was actually fined by the government for oiling himself and fighting nude during a siege. The charge that he received could be translated as endangering his own life. From all this, we understand that nudity was accepted during gymnasia or gymnasia, not war. If we have a look at Greek time periods, the Battle of Thermopylae, which the earlier mentioned films depicts, occurred in 480 BC, so we are at the end of the Archaic period. At that time, there were already several kinds of armor available for the hoplites to choose from. We've got bronze bell armor, bronze muscular armor, linothorax and spolas. The bell armor became obsolete around the time of the Peloponnesian War, so it could have been used. The muscular armor first appears in the late Archaic Greece and becomes widespread throughout the 5th and 4th centuries BC. As a matter of fact, bronze armor had a wide and uninterrupted use starting from the 15th century before Christ until the fall of the Achaean civilization. So both of these armors could have been a possible choice for some Spartans. Now, linothorax is an armor made of layers of linen glued together. Spolas instead was a very similar looking armor, but it was made of leather, some of which was possibly double-breasted. Now, although linothorax became very popular in Hellenistic times, so much so that even Alexander the Great wore one himself, it is highly probable that spolas were more common during Archaic times, also because there isn't any evidence of the usage of glue during Archaic times. So although not common, still the Greeks knew about linothorax, at least since the Mycenaean times, because Homer himself wrote about it. In conclusion, for this armor part of this video, I see it fit and probable that each Spartan had an armor according to his own preference and wealth. As far as nudity in battle is concerned, though, we should not disregard it so quickly, as we've got plenty of art, vases and statues representing hoplites flying naked, and we also have mentions in other cultures and civilizations with their warriors fighting naked. So reading Plutarch, we see that most likely Spartans wore armor, but why does art not back up this point? So we've got to answer this first, and then we need to talk about other populations fighting naked. So we still have to discuss about these two things before we can indulge ourselves in phloxinos nihila pilification. Yes, that is an actual word, phloxinos nihila pilification. You can find it in the Oxford Dictionary. It means to regard something as worthless, without any value. It's a big word, you should learn it, phloxinos nihila pilification. It has 5 Latin roots. I couldn't resist. So for the art part, it is widely accepted that each time we find a naked Greek hoplite, the artist is most likely using a precise artistic convention called heroic idealization, called artistic heroic tradition, which allows to show the hero's perfect body. So in other words, it's just an artistic style which gives the idea of a brave hero, but does not represent actual combat habits. And also, we have actual representations of Hoplite wearing body armor. So in other words, although the film 300 popularized this concept, it was not invented by Hollywood. We could say that this artistic convention is as old as the Hoplites themselves. Another interesting historical mention of nudity in battle can be found in the Battle of Telamon in 225 BC, as Diodorus Siculus, a Sicilian historian of the times of the Romans, reported that the mercenaries hired to fight against the Romans by the Celts fought the following manner. Some use iron breastplates in battle, while others fight naked, trusting only in the protection which nature gives. Now, I find this passage interesting because the way I translate it is, those who could afford armor would wear armor. Those who couldn't decided to just try and impress psychologically their enemy by not wearing anything, probably being naked on the torso, I would imagine. This idea that I have of psychological warfare can be found also in the words of Julius Caesar, as he reports in his account of the Gallic Wars that the Gauls went into battle naked, save for their weapons. Some soldiers wore no clothing, but were covered in paint, which allegedly gave the Picts their names. Now again, it's interesting we find the word some, and as you can see, the fact that those who weren't wearing anything decided to show their bare skin and paint it, it kind of gives us again this idea of psychological warfare. And in ancient time, this shouldn't be considered strange that not all warriors could wear armor, because as a matter of fact, only the Roman machina could afford at that time to equip all their soldiers with body armor. In other nations and other populations, the situation was different. If you were wealthy, if you were a commander, if you were a captain, most likely you would have been wearing armor, meaning mostly male armor. If you didn't, you would just have your weapons, and perhaps if you could afford it, a helmet, and if you could not afford a helmet, then you would just hope to last the first battle and then steal something from the dead. In conclusion, 300 author Frank Miller himself states, "I took those chest plates and leather skirts off of them for a reason. I wanted these guys to move, and I wanted them to look good. Spartans in full regalia were almost indistinguishable, except at a very close angle." Now, this very last part and the words of Miller is where he actually lost me, because I only agree with one thing here, the fact that they would have all looked very similar, and so that could have been a problem for recognizing the actor and giving pathos to the film. That I totally agree with him. But when he says that he wants them to look good, well, Spartans in full regalia look really badass. They are awesome. And that he wanted them to be able to move, that is very ignorant actually, because a Spartan in full armor could move just as much as a Spartan without full armor. Even if we're talking about bell armor, which will be the most encumbering, they could still move quite a lot. And if you gave them linothorax or spolas, no problems at all. Even a knight in full plate armor could move, run and jump. And I'm talking about medieval knights. So, of course, they could have moved if they had made proper replicas of armors actually tailored for the wearer, and not just off-the-shelf stuff that wouldn't fit properly. Okay, I hope that you enjoyed this video. If you did, please remember thumbs up and subscribe to my channel for more content from the Metatron. And remember, the Metatron has spread his wings. Goodbye.